President Trump, like we mentioned, back at Bedminster after the shooting in Pennsylvania, and that's where we find our Caitlyn Becker this morning. Caitlyn, I know this is a fluid situation. What's happening around you?
Well, Hena, I think the first thing you're going to notice is that you don't see Bedminster Golf Club behind me right now, and that is because early this morning, all of the media was diverted away by the Secret Service. We are hearing that no one is being allowed on or off that property. That includes guests of the golf club, and also employees are not being allowed on or off. Now, it is unclear at this time as to whether or not employees were ushered off of the premises prior to the former president arriving last night, but I can tell you we are quite a ways away right now, and there is certainly an increased security presence there, and the Secret Service is not letting anyone near. There have been quite a few Trump fans or supporters who have sort of driven by, but not the usual crowds that you would see for him. I think everyone being a little bit more respectful today. The former president returned here to New Jersey a little after midnight last night, and of course his team had released statements saying that the former president was fine. And when he disembarked that plane, that really is exactly what we saw. He was walking down the stairs with no assistance, no help. He seemed, you really wouldn't know that he had gone through the horror that he had gone through earlier. So he is at Bedminster right now recovering. We also don't know who's with him. Multiple family members of the Trumps, including, of course, Don Jr., Eric, Lara, Kimberly Guilfoyle, they're all scheduled to be with the former president at the RNC in Milwaukee later. Now, originally, before this whole tragedy, it was scheduled that after that rally in Pennsylvania, the former president would come back here to Bedminster. So that does seem to be on schedule. When he's going to leave is still a little bit of the mystery, and who's in there with him. But it does seem that everything is kind of moving along as somewhat scheduled despite this horrible tragedy. And of course, we did hear from the former president earlier today, which you just referenced right there with that Truth Social post, where he said, in part, "We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness." So he is still in there recovering, and everybody is being kept quite a distance away right now, Hena.
All right, Caitlyn Becker, we'll keep checking in with you all morning. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.